Good morning, everybody. So today's video is going to be a garden tour for the month of November. Now, if you guys have been following along on the channel, you know I didn't put out a garden tour for the month of October. I'm just trying to transition for the garden tour videos to be in the start of the month rather than the end of the month. So that's why I skipped out on October. But with that all being said, let's check out the garden. And sorry for the noise, guys. The neighbors are doing a little construction, but we got ourselves a foggy morning today, which I'm really loving. It feels pretty cool out, but still very nice. So the morning glories in their full glory is just continuing to put out more and more flowers. I do come every so often and just pull out the spent ones just to encourage some new growth and everything. The radishes are basically all ready to be picked. If you notice there, they're starting to pop out. So some fresh radishes we can pick right now. Got a nice little radish harvest. Now here are the two varieties of carrots. This is a coral, that one's an atomic, and so far so good. They still haven't started to plump up yet. Might have to thin out some of these. You can see the stalks are too close. I might just pull this one just to give this carrot some room to grow, just so that they don't end up being really skinny carrots. We have the Nasturtium that's popping off now, just continuing to grow and grow. I had the patty pan squash, and this one I pulled it out. It was getting hit by some powdery mildew, but I put in the green globe artichoke. Plan is to make some artichoke dip once this starts to head up. And then here's our sweet banana peppers. Almost ripe. They're starting to yellow up now, but they're still green. Got quite a few. And here we have the pumpkin. Again, in the gallon, the 7-gallon. But here is the pumpkin. So, still trying to figure out when to harvest it. It's supposed to sound hollow. To me, it's not sounding hollow just yet, so I might wait another week or two and check it. I overwintered the peppers here, so all these in here were habaneros, and some of these are like lilac and some other peppers. Even though today's a foggy day, being in zone 9B, we can basically grow peppers all year long. Production will be slow around, you know, fall and winter, but as you can see, we're still producing, and they're still wanting to grow. And so this one's a volunteer tomato. I didn't plant this; it's just growing. I did notice it was growing, but then I cut some of the suckers off. So, but it looks, there's some flowers there. Let's see if this can produce some, you know, winter tomatoes for us. And the grapes. The grapes on my to-do list. I gotta fill this bed up with compost. The soil is starting to lower down. As you can see, there's quite a large gap from the soil line that where it was used to be around there. So I'm gonna top this bed off with some compost. Just basically get it ready for winter so that the soil can winter over, even though we don't get a frost or snow. But it'll be ready for the springtime and produces some more grapes. Now we got some of the collards here. We got the insect netting over, and I took off the plastic that I used to have for this little hoop house. But basically just draped over some insect netting just to protect these collards and kohlrabi that I have. But there is little to no bug damage, specifically from the cabbage moss, because the cabbage moss will just lay their eggs and do some damage. But yeah, there's little insect damage there, but not too much. And here we have the other patty pan squash that is quite large. I gotta cut some of this back, but there is some fruit production there. Now this one didn't actually get pollinated. You can see powdery mildew is starting to take hold. We have some rutabaga, so again the patty pan is trying to take over the rutabaga. Never grown this before, first time. Don't even know what it tastes like, to be quite honest with you. But trying to get my first without having the patty pan trying to take its son. Then we got some beets here, or should I say one beet. Planted 4, only 1 sprouted. I think these are some volunteer tomatoes. And here's some banana peppers. So I planted these banana peppers at the same time that I planted those. So the fact that those over there were producing and these aren't just lets me know that these basically got stunted. So more than likely I'm just going to pull this out and probably plant some more beets here or some rutabaga just to clear these out. And here's our jelly melon, aka the African horned melon. So this plant, you can see, is starting to flower. That's what a baby jelly melon looks like. So I've got quite a few flowers here, and they're such tiny flowers. I don't really plan to hand pollinate. I'm just gonna let it, you know, do its thing naturally. These are what they start to look like once they get larger. I think they look pretty cool and unique. I've never had these, and for them being African variety, I don't think I would ever get the chance other than if I grew them. But you can see they're quite spiky, and if you kind of grip them, they would hurt, but they're not that sharp. But if you try to get a fistful of that, it'll definitely hurt. Look at the dragon fruit that is popping off, all these new shoots. Alright, and here are all our brassicas. So again, this is the same insect netting as before. Now for these wires here, I forget what they're called. It's a product that you can find at Home Depot. I'll put the name up on the video. But basically I cut these to length, and you just bend them, stick them into the ground, and then bend them over, and they make you a little hoop. And then you can drape your, you know, insect netting across. So I did that for this bed, that bed, and the L bed I'll show you guys. We got the broccolis, we got the Brussels sprouts, we got cabbages there, more Brussels sprouts. So basically all these two beds are this bed here is broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. And so far the insect netting has definitely done its job, keeping all my plants nice and healthy and not damaged by any of the cabbage moths or any flying insects. And here are the beans. Been picking these, already got 2 good harvests out of them. Nice little snack. These are the first time I'm growing dragon tongue beans. They have a nice sweet taste to them. Obviously it tastes a little bit like a green bean, but with a nice like a sweet ending aftertaste. Definitely try this variety if you haven't already. Here's one of the chili peppers. This one was originally planted over here, but I took that out. I wanted to use all this bed for, you know, all my brassicas and lettuces and stuff like that, and placed it in here. And so far it looks like it's taking. Just gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna definitely cut some of these like older stems off. Cut it back a little bit. Here I planted some lavender, but unfortunately for some reason I cannot get lavender to germinate. So I don't know what the trick is. If any of you guys know, let me know. But here is one I believe should be the lavender, since I placed the whole, you know, row across. And this is the only thing that's sprouted, but I can't really tell if it's lavender or not. But yeah, each year I've been trying to plant lavender and I just can't get it to germinate fully. So I gotta figure out what the trick is. Now all this is one netting, by the way, and I believe I got, was it a 16 by 6 if I'm not mistaken? But some of the excess you can see I just rolled up here. So, and I just placed some rocks just to keep it in place. Let's take a peek. We got the lettuces here, summer bib lettuces, spinach. We got the bok choy in the back, and then we got the cabbages in the back. These are cauliflowers. Last but not least, all the starts, different varieties of things. Cabbages, cauliflower, Swiss chard, a whole lot of different things. Well, thanks for coming along with me on my garden tour. If you want to check out any of my other videos, they'll be right here linked on the side of me. And don't forget to hit the subscribe down below. And as always, you won't get a harvest if you don't sow seeds. Peace. Cause if you ain't yourself, you end up by your freaking self.